He just Thanos out of existence. He's not used to live videos. He's only just pre-records.
Yeah, he's back. He's come back.
He's coming back.
Dylan,
You're back.
Dylan us.
I am here. Yeah, I got disconnected for some reason.
Right when we hit live, you just blipped out.
These two guys are great developer advocates. They got it.
I was like, oh, you're not used to doing live videos. You're a pre-recorded YouTuber kind of guy.
Yeah, see, I even have my camera right there. I just ran to my camera.
This is your live view, and that's your pre-recorded side. That's good. We're kind of matching. I realized with the hat, the black hat. Yeah, that was unintentional. I'm just repping our team hat. Dev community team hat.
Oh, that's pretty cool hat.
Did you not get this?
I got the sweater for sure. I can't remember if I got that. I think I did. But
we should. I think we all got the same stuff. Like there was a shirt, the sweatshirt, the hoodie. I got the Meta Horizon hoodie on from the academy.
You know what's interesting? I got the hat and the sweater, and I thought it was like somebody that I didn't know just sent me free swag.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was either. I was like, why am I getting this box? This heavy box of stuff. I didn't order anything.
Yeah, that's one thing that we do get a lot of swag. I think I'm starting to compile everything in that closet behind me from all the events that we've been at this year. For I think a lot of quest labels that quest stickers that I got, plushies, too many plushies.
Too many plushies. I know a lot of people that would want some of them if you have extra.
I got 2 right now, and then a lot of stickers.
Yeah, I've got my pile of swag and stickers.
Wow.
This is just a small pile. I've given it to so many of them to my son this year. But and then we had like photo printouts. This is from where was this? Oh my gosh. Was this in Berlin? No.
Yeah, that was Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Berlin.
It's either Berlin or Connect.
No, it wasn't Connect. It was in Germany. Was it Cologne? No.
It's the only other place we went to Berlin.
I can't remember where this happened. Yeah, I remember it was at the beer garden. So it was Germany, I think. Was it Berlin?
So that happens when you go to too many events in 1 year. You start losing track of events.
Yeah. I should have written on this like where it was from. This is the beer garden. So where was it? Because we should
tell everyone where we went this year.
Yeah. Well, Dilmer, you can start because you had like 4 months head start on us.
Yeah. When I joined, the story of how I joined Meta, and I was thrown to the first event in my second week. I think I joined December 9 of last year, and it was pretty quiet. And as soon as our team started to grow, they sent me to MIT Reality Hack. And honestly, that was an amazing event. That doesn't give you a lot of detail. No, I would say that was one of the highlights. I mean, we did so many great events throughout the year, but that one was really cool because I never thought I was gonna go to. I think for me it was coming from South America and I hearing about MIT, right? Like you go to MIT and it's like the coolest tech. It's cool, and we got the opportunity to do a talk there and work with developers. And I remember people building like brain computer interfaces, like not the hardware itself, but like applications using those. So yeah, that was my first one. And then I think after that we had I would say GDC or Harvard XR. But I know that when I did Harvard XR, you guys, you jump in and join as well.
Oh yeah, it was Harvard. Also, tell us which one. You should both tell us like your favorite one you went.
My favorite event in the entire year. That's a great question. I might be a little biased because I work for Meta, but I really love MetaConnect.
Oh, you like Connect? Interesting.
We had obviously a different experience being, especially you, being on part of like the show and stuff. That was definitely, and it was my first Connect. Was it your first? Was it all of our first Connects?
Yeah. I think Deepak was your first one, right?
Yeah, you should probably tell everybody. Most people don't know what Connect is. Like, I never knew what Connect was until I came here.
Oh,
like,
really?
I knew they had the conferences, but like us normies, like we don't memorize at conferences. Like, I barely memorized the Apple one.
Yeah, I think if you're like an XR fan, I guess now expands to wearables, AI, and a lot other different industries. But as an XR fan, I mean, Jake and I we've been in XR for a while. Deepak in Games, this is the event to kind of exclusive event to be part of. So the first time I went, it was last year. I wasn't working for Meta, and it was amazing just to be able to get invited. And the reason why I got invited is because I was making videos at the time. But yeah, it's a big
developer conference.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think Connect now is both a combination of like when it was Facebook, there was F8 and like the Facebook developer conference, and then there was also like Oculus Connect, and then Facebook bought Oculus, and then basically used the Oculus Connect name and brought it together to be like this massive Meta wide tech conference. It was really cool.
It was cool. Just and I say this as a kind statement because it's going to sound sarcastic. It was because I know how people read me. Like, there was a lot of pageantry that I liked. It wasn't like over the top pageantry, but like I liked how it felt. Like, meeting developers, there was food, there was like people performing, you could see tech demos, and then there was like a polished vibe and then an unpolished vibe. Like, it was cool. Like, and then there was live shows with Dilmer. It was just a weird collection of like
there was
as well in the live show, right? Like, Jake was on a bike. He was wearing the Oakley Vanguard.
That was the most workout I've done all year, was those 2 minutes on that bike.
But you were making jokes and we were live, and I'm like, oh dude, how are we gonna pull this off? And it just felt so natural after we just went for it.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, I got to wear that was Mark's glasses too. Like, that was really cool to get to like wear the ones he wore when he went on the run with Diplo at the end of the keynote. So yeah, it felt like those like, we were there all week, but like those like 2 days of Connect definitely felt like very surreal. I think part of it too, right? Because the campus was literally, like, everyone calls it Disneyland. It was literally designed by Disney engineers, but it really felt like that, especially with like the half pipe and Diplo performing and everything that was going on like throughout Connect, and then also like the developer sessions that were happening like simultaneous with that. It was really well done, and the swag. You get the jerseys, Connect jerseys. Got to call that out. This is like definitely one of the coolest pieces of swag I've gotten at any conference, let alone Meta. So.
Oh yeah, because you got to, what do you call it?
You could customize. You could choose like the patches. So I think you got like option of like 5, and then you can customize like where they went on the jersey, which is super cool. But I'll definitely break this out once the weather warms up again. In a few months. If I go outside in this, I'm going to freeze my butt off. But,
so what about you guys? Like, what was if you would say your favorite event of the year or hackathon, what would you say that was?
Man, it's hard to narrow down. We were back and forth to Europe so much. Like, I definitely didn't expect going into the job that we'd be going back and forth to, like, I think I went 4 times, I think, this year, and you, Dilmer, even more than that with like Reboot and the other things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, VidCon was a lot of fun. Like, that was kind of like that was like crazy, because that wasn't like a VR conference, but to see like it's a YouTuber conference basically, and like content creator conference. So like to see like all the fans, basically like a Comic-Con for YouTubers, and like to see all the fans, mostly for J-Man Curly, but obviously for a lot of other creators, going like crazy. Like when they come on stage, like I my ears are still literally ringing for how loud it was, like when he came on stage. But then getting to hang out with some really cool creators like Rosanna Pansino and Dream and others, because we did like a little dinner with them on the rooftop like the night before VidCon. Like that was really cool to get that opportunity to hang out with them and kind of outside the noise of the conference of the event. So that was a ton of fun, and seeing like all the kids and fans like running around with Quest headsets, even though it wasn't a VR conference, was wild. And having them autographed, like they asked me to autograph some because I used to work in an animal company. So that was just totally crazy. So I guess it's hard to pick a favorite, but that was definitely, I think, like a really like unique one for me. But Deepak, I'm curious to hear.
I go back and forth. I think if you put a gun to my head, it either be XRCC, which was basically like this really cool hackathon for immersive content, include everything from like wearables, headsets, Horizon, even. Like it was cool, and like different Logitech was there, right? Different like Puma was there, so like, and everyone was just so invested in their project. I think that's what I took away from.
Yeah, I still show like I still show a few projects from that, like in our talks, and when I bring that up to people, like the football soccer tracking one, and others. I think Gilmer, you just shared one, I think, on your Twitter the other day or yesterday, I think. So yeah, it was definitely those really awesome projects.
Yeah, I want to talk a lot more about it, but I can't yet because we are announcing a competition. But yeah, I agree, Deepak. Like that one, when we saw them, we went to United XR and we saw the organizers, Dinesh, his wife, and some of his team was there as well. It's like they're so invested, like community wise, and it was like it's pretty cool, like how we have built this. Like we weren't known outside from like making videos. Jake from Espacio, Deepak from Roblox, and all his work. And now, like after these years, like now we build this community of industry leaders. Like Ori, I saw you at a party in New York, Jake, with Ori and some other people. So it's XRCC kind of like kickstarted a lot of that because there were a lot of people. Gabriel was there from the industry, and just kind of seeing that throughout the year has been amazing. Like just looking back at, I'm just looking forward for next year that we can do all of this again next year, and now that we know what we know, we can have a bigger impact. Now that we built the team and we know we didn't know a lot when we started, so now at least we know what events work well, what people want to see at events. I think it's a big what works at events, doing a booth versus not a booth, doing a talk and things like that, or what the community wants to build. So yeah. Anyways, I cannot derail our conversation, but
no, that was good. So I think it's VidCon for Jake, XRCC for me. Dylan, what was yours?
I say MetaConnect, and for me it was because I always was so timid. I've always been behind a camera, and they put me as a reporter, and to me that was the biggest challenge. So it was fun to like being able to interview Jake, and then other people. So and then being able to work with the community, and then I saw you over here on as a field reporter. So that was one of my highlights. But definitely, like if you had to ask me second one, I love XRCC. I wanted to go to VidCon, Jake, as a YouTuber. I think that's definitely next year that it's in my list.
Yeah, if we could make it work, I definitely want to push. I'm hoping we can figure out. Like, I think there's a bigger story to tell there that like there was a bigger Meta presence there, but more on like the Instagram side of the house, which from in our side of things is like a totally different team internally. But I think from a Horizon like Reality Lab side of things, there's like a huge story there that isn't really talked about a lot. Obviously, people know the big games that are played are like Gorilla Tag, Animal Company, and all these UGG and all these kinds of things. But like how much that's like crossed over with this like content creator ecosystem, both from the creator side but also the fan side, because you had all these kids that were fans and stuff like that. So I think I would love ideally for us to have like bring a lot of those games to VidCon and just like have like a presence there like that. So like players can like you can have like these like player meetups, like Gorilla Tag meetups or UGG or Animal Company like meetups there and things like that, and have like a hub for it. I think would be super cool because it was already happening. So yeah, I think it would be. I don't know if it was your audience wasn't there, like the XR creator like audience wasn't there. I think it was very. It might be very. I mean, Deepak, you were there, so you could speak to it. But I think he'd be maybe surprised. Like, yes, it's like a YouTube / like in the past, it's been a lot of TikTok conference, but like not the type that you would. Not your audience. You get it. Yeah.
I think that the ones that are there are the ones that I follow. Like those are the ones that I follow for like content creation tips. Yeah. I saw like the Mr. Beast talking about like how he became who he is and his process. Yeah. Like there's a lot of creators that talk about YouTube as a platform. That's kind of like why I'm being a little bit selfish and like I want to learn more about how to become a better content creator. But yeah, XR, I love that idea of because we did that this year. We brought in, and that's one of the things like our team, like we have the opportunity to do is bring in developers, creators to showcase their games, which is like crazy, right? Because we didn't have that power or that possibility before. And now we can showcase indies. And yeah, I like that idea of bringing in and highlighting a lot of cool stuff that people don't see because it doesn't get the views or they don't have the monetary investment to create a cool trailer. But our team has that power. And yeah, so looking forward to highlighting some of the, I mean, we did that at United XR with like Jonas. He did a great game, mixed reality game. And we're brought in other people as well. So
that's what I was thinking. Like Jake, you could do is like, let's take the VR demos, Horizon demos, and tech demos, like on the headset and mobile, whatever we're allowed to do, and then and sort of like, I think if we throw enough plushies out there, they'll check out the cool developer content. Because sometimes you have to tease people to like come to your booth, and so just do that, and then like I think people will have a good time, and then they're like, I didn't know this. The phrase I want to hear is, I didn't know this exists.
Yeah, and we heard that a lot too. I think with like even at Unite with like developer tools and stuff, not even on the content side, but on like the technical side. That's the thing. That's stuff we spent a lot of time. Dilmer, you especially, both of us on that side of things. I mean, on that side of the house, and then I'm also, as I'm saying that too, like especially on the Horizon side of the house, like I even at United XR, people are like, oh yeah, Horizon, like I tried that, like I don't really enjoy going into like VR so much. I'm like, well, like actually it's primarily on mobile, and you don't even need the Horizon app, and you can just like use Facebook and Instagram. They're like, what? I said, wait, what? Hold on. So like even these big things, people don't know about. So it's interesting.
I think that go ahead, Deepak.
No, that just got me thinking, like, what is the coolest feature you have seen this year from any VR product or mobile product? And we could do
Hyperscape. Like, I mean, that's the one that like everyone else is like hyped about too. Because I don't know if you've tried it. Like I did a scan of my hotel room in Brussels for United XR because it had a lot of like a lot of details and stuff in it too. And I've done like Gaussian splats with my phone and stuff, but to jump into it in VR
Yeah.
And the fact I can just scan it with my headset, so it's a little easier. I just kind of walk around and look at stuff, and then be able to jump in. Like the detail is even, and that space had a lot of reflective surfaces. You used that room, that hotel used built that room with an obscene amount of mirrors, like on the ceilings and like every wall. It was really reflective, but it still came out really, really good. And then today, like literally just like a few hours ago, we launched all these hyperscapes with celebs, like Kris Jenner and Casey Neistat and a whole bunch of others. And it's crazy that you can go into these spaces and these worlds. Yeah, it's pretty well. I think it's like really one of the biggest steps towards, I think, a true like holodeck that we've ever gotten to. Because it kind of what'd you say?
It's like a digital twin, like we're really close to
Yeah.
a replica of
Like and it's like really, really high quality, and you can jump into it like really, really quickly. I think it's like the biggest leap, because it's obviously Gaussian splatting is not a new thing, but the way it's implemented on Quest and even you can go into it on mobile too, I think has blown everybody away.
I think no, I agree with that. I think Meta. I mean, I work at Meta, so I'm probably biased, but in a way, having Hyperscape coming out and then seeing, because I mean, we look at trends, right? Like we look at social media. I'm always in social media looking at what people are, but I look at like World Labs, right? Like the crazy stuff that they're doing with 2D images, and how cool. I saw a prototype from a friend that works at Niantic, takes a 2D image, and he generated 2D images for kind of like a Duke Nukem type map. And he started stitching them together, and then he created this 3D world that you could, and he added a character controller you could go around. So that's cool. Like Gaussian splats and basically created a game with it. And then I saw recently Apple released Sharp, and it's like the idea of, I think it's like less than 2 seconds, something like that, crazy like that. That you can take an image and then in less than 2 seconds or something, like a very small amount of time, and create it into. It doesn't look as detailed as Hyperscape does, but it still gives you a really good representation of what that is. So yeah, I think like that technology. I mean, just thinking about the future, right? Like how that it's going to revolutionize how we see and consume content.
Georgie texts me every day about stupid Hyperscape every day.
Who texts you? Who texts you every day?
Georgie from
yeah, from North Carolina. Yeah.
He texts me every day. I'm like, you know, check out Hyperscape. I'm like, I know. Thank you very much, reminder.
Yeah, no, the Apple thing is really impressive. I've seen some. I haven't tried it, but I've seen some tweets about it. The fact that you can do a 2D image, like Hyperscape, is one thing because you're literally using a VR headset to scan a room, but to go from like 2D image to like 3D, and it's gonna be really important too to getting people into like these future devices and stuff like that. If like all your like, call it legacy content, aka just like standard photos, just like works and isn't 2D. You can even try this now too. You don't have to do anything in if you go into like Horizon OS and you go into like your home, your loft, and you can pop up the Instagram like widget on the wall, and all the Instagram content, or all of it, most of it, like automatically gets like 3D depth, which is like really pretty wild. Like videos, photos. So it's actually really, really cool. That does it by default. Just like on the iPhone, it does like the same effect. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, it's really cool to get that. I have that on my phone too. Yeah.
We got talking about conferences. We had and I think you probably saw it, Jake. The SenseAI Hack Barcelona. One of the teams created it was a language app. So they brought in images from a trip that they had somewhere in Spain, and it was like this market. They could see the fruits. There was a fountain. Beautiful classical Mediterranean type location in Spain. And what they did is they added different points at different locations, and you could go in and like tap it, and it'll tell you, could you learn this? Basically, if you wanted to know how to say orange in Spanish, you say naranja, and then you say naranja, and it'll pop up this rating with stars, and it'll score you. Most of the time, it will score me right. Most of the time, sometimes it was scoring. So I don't know how accurate it was, but it was really cool that you could actually, because learning another language is hard, but like if you can see the location, and that's why they say whenever you want to learn a different language, just make sure you go to another country and they throw you in the fire, and then you got to figure it out and talk to people. So like that's a cool use case of using gushing and splatting with XR.
Yeah. The context awareness of that too. Yeah, that was a really cool experience. I think they won, right? If I'm remembering this, they were winner or runner up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really cool experience, and we have the sample that we put out that's similar to that, without the Gaussian spotting aspect, but like the kind of the spatial lingo. It's coming out, or it's about to come out today or soon. So similar thing, yeah. Using XR for language learning is yeah, it's really powerful stuff.
So Dilmer, what is that your feature too, Hyperscape, or what's your feature you were?
I say I like that one a lot. What is my favorite feature that we released this year?
It could be in other products too.
Or yeah, that's I mean it's so popular that many of us may have it, but I mean pass-through camera access, that was like the biggest.
Oh, that was huge.
That was yeah, it's like a big deal, and I'm seeing so many cool prototypes and experiences built with it. So that one I would say, and we just released when Jake talked about it in the United XR, his talk, which he'll link in the description below. Make sure you watch it. We talk about AI building blocks, and
you gotta pick one, Dilmer. Stay in a lane. Which one? You gotta pick.
pass-through camera access.
That was huge. I feel like it feels like I can understand your hesitation a little bit on it, because it was like at the beginning of the year, I think, and it's so we have like a little like recency bias maybe, but like it's still like, yeah, that was
like all is cool, but it's not all is cool, because you're right, it was easier.
yeah, but it is a huge deal. What I'm most excited with that is the fact that like, people are starting to prototype like future like glasses experiences using it as well, or they're prototyping like things for like the Ray-Ban displays, or other things like that. Like it enables them to do that, so you can effectively have like Orion type glasses, today with a Quest, and start to figure out like what experiences you can build and what works, all in a Quest, which is that's what I tell devs, like when they're like, oh, like when are we gonna get Orion, and when can I like build like full like 3D apps on glasses? I'm like, I don't know, I don't have a crystal ball, but you can already start building for it today, and then when that does happen at some point in the next few years, you'll be ready. You already have something that runs. Maybe you have to optimize it or tweak it, but like you can already understand. It's like a totally different computing paradigm, different way to build. But now with pass-through, you can do that.
Deepak, I want to know yours. What was your favorite feature?
You can't say Horizon Studio. I picked something else.
I was gonna actually say, like, I want to cheat and say Horizon Studio, but I won't. But I will. So the feature, it's a low-key feature people that probably we gave to all developers finally, I think, is being able to add a video during loading. And
okay, yeah, like a trailer.
Yeah, and it's something little, but like it just creates like a different, like, you can do tutorials, you can create a vibe. You could probably do something more experimental that I haven't seen people do, like, start asking questions. Like, I think people should take advantage, but I haven't seen that part yet. But like, yeah, it just creates, like, 'cause most people don't know, like, loading screens are actually like copyrighted. Like I forgot if it's Bandai or somebody. Like people used to do mini games, but then someone copyrighted it. Like, I think like Pac-Man. Someone should fact check me, but like it's a weird copyright rule on loading screens. But
They have a separate copyright than like the rest of the game, or what do you mean?
Yeah, it's a separate copy. What do you call it? Patent. On loading screens, like particular loading screens. That's why most people always do like the basic static or like the rotating symbol.
Yeah. Make it interesting too. I'm all for that. Like, I don't want to just stare at a loading bar. If you have something that not just a trailer or just shows me the game, but yeah, you take advantage of it and use those 30 seconds to make it entertaining, a part of the game in some way. I think I've only seen that in like one example so far, but you're right. I think that's like something that creators should utilize more.
I've seen I'm sure you guys have seen a lot too this year where the team work on making something so cool, and I'm not gonna name a team or like an experience, but then I don't know what to do. So I like that idea of using, even if it's like a small snippet, like you said, of tutorial, to get me started. Because a lot of times it's like, oh, I have to twist my hand to see the menu. I didn't even know. I needed to face me, or I needed to execute a gesture, and they put it in, but it's like so deep into it. By the time that I got into it, I already lost friction.
Yeah, can we just say, don't do one thing I've seen in the competition, which I would advise against, is hand tracked menus, like you just mentioned. Don't do that. Don't stop it. Just stop the hand track menu thing. It is not a good experience. Well, yeah, because like you said, I went into some of these games and I'd be like, oh, there's nothing here. It's not working. And then I just like look at my hand and be like, oh, there's a whole menu here on my hand. Like, I didn't know I had to look at my hand to do anything.
Yeah.
Stop it. Don't do that.
I like
loading. If you had that loading video, you could step me up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like it when they do, like, because there's like so many different interactions that you can do. So you have a menu that comes up, and then I agree with Jake. It's like I do this, and there's like it's called distance selection, like a raycast. But sometimes that doesn't make sense if the menu is like close to me. So I rather like have a developer implement a poke, because then I know that I'm selecting. Because when the menus are too far, it's like it's not really easy to select. So like I just put it in front of me, and then I can select it. So just make sure that people are thinking about those interactions. Like if you have a menu, like okay, how are they going to use it? Where is it going to be displayed? I like that there was one where they actually didn't have a menu, but it was a watch, and because it had a timer, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. Like, but I didn't know about it until I started looking. Oh, there's a watch. What is it for? But then it was a timeout for the experience. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. But again, I didn't know about it until I saw my hands.
Yeah, or at least pop something up on the screen that's like, hey, look down at your hands, and then it becomes almost like you make it part of the moment, like make it a magical moment, like, hey, like, welcome to whatever game, like look down at your hands, and then you go, whoa, like my hands look like tiger claws or something like that. Like then it's fun and interesting versus it being like, yeah, I'm lost. What do I do? Kind of thing. Or you make it like I said, make it like a wristwatch, or make it like something like not just like a panel next to your hand, but like make it like James Bondy, like have a hologram come up. That would be sick.
This is going great. What's a feature? I always like being future forward, right? So like, okay, year's gone. What do you want next? and I'll make it easy. I'll give you my feature I want, which is rev share for creators, to make it really easy. I'm big on like, okay, you're the owner, and I can easily give Jake, because he worked on the scripting, so I'll give him 25% of the proceeds and stuff like that. Just making that easy for creators. I want that cross Horizon, but like I don't know if it is on VR. You guys have to tell me.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know if we do this right now. Oh, Jake looks like okay. I don't know if we do this right now, but I like how Apple in the early days they had like an indie we may be doing this already. So we might be already having this feature, but where we would feature indies more, like these are the indie picks. Again, I'm going back to the indies that we feature in United XR, like getting some of these people that are just working as solo developers and they're working on really cool experiences highlighted in the store. Like that to me, it's very important. I think like getting, because there's so much competition, especially on the Apple ecosystem, like getting them in front of more people, it's would be
That's
cool.
what you're asking for, more of a feature to get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's probably like when we had United XR, right? And this has always been unfortunately, the tale as old as time. It was like, Deepak, Dilmer, Jake, how do I get noticed?
Yeah.
Huh? How do I filter through the noise?
And I think it comes down to, I mean, that what you're talking about, what do you want, but just to give people feedback and kind of a more into how this type of thing works is just getting involved, right, on hackathons, going to conferences, connecting with more people, because that's how we make the connections with some of the demos that we've been showcasing. We get them on the show, we meet them at a conference, and they're like, "Oh, I'm working on this. This is getting released," and so yeah, like I think that's a good tip. Just go to more conferences and get involved in hackathons.
Well, sort of, I often get this question, right? Is like, oh, what do you do as an advocate? And I think you nailed it, right? Like, we do internal advocacy,
Mm-hmm.
we do social media, and then we do talks. Talks for the sake of not just talking about what cool stuff is out there, but like be there where the action is. And the other part is like online activations, but like you need both, right? Because you don't get the sentiment
Mm-hmm.
in such a impactful way unless you hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You need both. You need data, right? From like online survey. They got to do a survey next week, right? But like, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the people that that I saw on competitions we met in person.
Yeah.
A lot of them we have, throughout the year we just met in different areas. Some of them we gave talks to, and they just came and talked to us in after the talks, and they had issues, and we help them out. I mean, we're always available. It's funny, like a lot of people ask, how do we get a hold of you guys or like your teams? And can you just send me a DM? and they get surprised when like we respond right away, but like we're humans, like we're there. Like if you need anything, we can help out.
Oh, here's Jake.
Okay, there we go.
Sorry, I literally had a power outage.
Oh no.
No, you're good. We were just Dilmer, we were talking about the things we would want for next year. I did rev share. Dilmer was talking about just more ways to sort of promote creators and developers, because we were talking about how hard it is for developers. Like that's the sentiment we get is like, Deepak, Dilmer, Jake, how do we get noticed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I was talking with people at the New York party on Wednesday about this too. They want to get together more in person. Like they like the community loves getting together, and not necessarily obviously like at events, but I think in between events too, and like seeing people more at local community events. What was unique about New York was it was the first time that all the different like XR or even XR adjacent meetup groups, those 8 of them, came together for one event. So you had Unity NYC, Unreal NYC, VRARA, New York VR, the Polys, AWE. I'm missing a couple. XR Guild. I think that's also. I'm sure I'm missing a couple. Came together for the first event, and so many people were like, "It's so weird to see like all like it was like worlds colliding. Like so many people like seeing each other at the same event." So they want to do more of that stuff. Or like there were some of our MHCP mentors were there, like Mikey Ace and King of Miami came out, and they're like, yeah, we should do more of this like with MHCP, like more than just like the summit at Connect. Like it would be great to do like more of these like locally. Like he could do one in Miami and do one in New York and things like that. Like just to, I think people want to, like, even though we're building technology to allow people to come together virtually, I think there's obviously still like the hunger and the need to be together in person when and where possible at the same time. So one of the things I'm pushing for is that we do more, and either we ourselves or support like more local community events throughout the year. So not a developer tool kind of specific thing, but more a community.
Yeah.
A community feature.
100%.
100%.
Last question, Jake. It's you had a list in the last question.
Your question is about my list of topics?
Yes. You got to tell us which.
Your question is I come up with the question.
Because yes, you come up with the
Your question is, what is your question? You shot down my list when we talked about it on the pre-show.
Yes, it shot down.
So now you're like, I'm out of ideas. I guess we'll go back to the B list.
Not B list. Just too much. Too much.
We were talking about one of the things that we do, in our job as advocates is obviously we're very active on social media. Like I hear, we hear that all the time, being like, oh, like you guys are like, or when people are talking to me specifically, they're like, oh, you're so active on like LinkedIn, like you guys are like crazy, like doing so much stuff. I mean, it's a big part of our job. Obviously, it's a channel for us to get our messaging out, but also take in content too. And we were chatting before too of how we go about utilizing social media. And we were talking about how I think X and Threads are two of the biggest platforms that we use. And it was interesting. Like I have a post up today about Hyperscape and how it's doing today. It happens to be doing like really well on Threads and not as well on Twitter, but the reverse happens also. And it's never the same. I don't know if I've ever really had, maybe with one exception, a post do well on all platforms at the same time. If it does well on one, it for whatever reason doesn't do well on the other. Not counting like LinkedIn and that kind of stuff too. But I don't know if Dilmer, other than YouTube, if there's a platform that you when it comes to like social media, and it doesn't obviously have to be a Meta platform, that you kind of default to when it comes to the social advocacy side of things.
Can I say YouTube? Just kidding.
I mean, that's probably the worst person to ask this question to. But
no, obviously I've been doing this. Like I've been doing this for a long time, ever since I started making games 10 years ago. Little games, nothing big. But yeah, I love, regardless of the politics about X and who owns X and everything, it is the platform that I default to. And that's for many reasons. Like if you're building for VR, you're building for, a game for Horizon Worlds, for Steam, standalone, there's just a lot of people there that you want to get noticed. So normally, that's, depending on what I'm doing, I think it's always, like if I'm posting a video on YouTube, like obviously YouTube, but my first one is X. And that one normally does really well. Like that's normally the one that will do a little bit better. But there's always like key indicators. Like if I see a post doing extremely well and that it applies to a wider audience, I would post it on Reddit. And it's weird. Like I know like which ones will do well on Reddit after like so much time of iteration. Threads is like, to me, a playground. It's like, Jake, I don't know. Sometimes they take off, sometimes they don't. But I do see a huge. It's growing steadily. I get a lot of great feedback on it. And then LinkedIn for me always like, it always tends to do the same. Like it always does good, but I never seen it explode on LinkedIn. So yeah, so I have a lot of them, all other ones that I won't mention that I always post to, but we can have another hour conversation of my posting. How about you, Deepak?
Well, you guys are the experts. I'm new to this game, so like I can give you like the newbie thing.
But you
like,
can also tell us like why too. Like it's not like you, right? Because like it's not something you were encouraged, let's say, to use.
oh yeah.
That's what you've told us.
Yeah, I was never allowed to do social media, so it's weird having a job.
I was being nice with encouraged, but yes.
Yeah. So it's fun, but it's very intimidating. So like taking sort of your question, like I'll sort of give like a newbie's, like I found it difficult. I won't name platforms. Like sometimes I find it difficult just creating conversations on certain platforms. That part is hard. But then I've been surprised. I'll say positives. I'll say the platforms. Positives like LinkedIn. I was like, oh, people like really appreciate some of these thoughts. So like that's
Yeah.
something I noticed. Uh, Twitter, I noticed like I'll have more of a relationship with the devs. I've noticed. Um, TikTok, I see the potential, but I haven't busted through. Instagram, I'm still learning. I'm still learning like photos and videos and all that type of stuff. That's the hardest part for me is like, I don't know who I want to be.
Well, also like I think the one thing I struggle with too, I think we push like we're pushed to like, obviously have good engagement and stuff on it as well. And if I'm scheduling things in advance, I'm typically scheduling them on all platforms, but also I always try and get myself to step back and be like, all right, each platform is unique. And when we do say a post about something, it doesn't necessarily have to live on all 5 or whatever platforms that we have on all of them. Like sometimes things are just better on Instagram and other things are better on the other two. I think it's being smart enough to, or having different versions of your content that like a photo on TikTok, if that even works, like is not going to do well versus maybe one on Instagram or Twitter and like the vibe is different, right? Like I feel like on Twitter, I try to be more like a little more like casual in the style of my posts, maybe compared to Threads a little bit versus obviously compared to LinkedIn. LinkedIn's like wearing a suit and tie and be like, this is what I learned from the butt physics on Animal Company or something like that, right? So it's each one's like really different. So it's like having to tailor content for each one is like its own challenge.
It is.
Yeah, that's what I don't post on TikTok anymore because I love TikTok and TikTok is a great platform.
Yeah.
But the reason why I don't post is because the posts that do well in TikTok for me require me to make a video from scratch, and it has to be purposely built as a vertical video. So if I film myself doing a vertical video and I create it all from the ground up, it does really well. But if I just take something from Twitter, from Twitter, and I just it just doesn't work. So like it goes back to what you guys are saying. Like it has to not only like the text, but the video format needs to match the platform. The same thing with reels. Like if you do a reel is actually a little less it's more forgiving than TikTok because reels they will actually like amplify a little bit more, but TikTok it's like I want you to give me something built from the ground up. At least for me, that's like my experience.
Yeah, I've only had one video that's like doing well, and well is relative. Like it's not like hundreds of thousands of views. It was, and it's not at all related. I've also had a few posts this year that have done well that have not at all related with like our job or XR, like posts about Star Wars or things like that. But the post on TikTok that's like doing like well for my channel is a video I made in Sora, ChatGPT, OpenAI's Sora, and it's a dramatic take on Thomas the Tank Engine. So it's just like 6 seconds of like a dark Thomas the Tank Engine like episode, and with like underlying implications that Thomas committed murder. And, and that like that's doing like I still get comments on that video. I posted it like a few months ago. And that's doing well. So like it's weird stuff like that. So I need to figure out how to take like that energy and make not murdery energy, but like that kind of like fun energy and put it into, when it comes to like what we do, videos that are more say on topic. that kind of stuff. But yeah, so like you said, it's definitely you got to tailor make it to the platform. But
and testing a lot, right? Like you're testing, like we can talk hours about social media. I love that topic. We can probably do another episode. I was going to talk about Sora now that you talk about that. But yeah, just lastly, like paying attention to new platform threads. I mean, that's not new anymore, but Sora is another one that is also, it's like a built-in social media platform too. And the Meta AI also has like a built-in social media. I can't catch up with all of them. I think like picking your top 3 and then growing that, and then you can experiment with the other ones. Like that to me would be like the takeaway. Not just do it all, otherwise you would never grow.
Yeah, Sora, I uninstalled from my phone. Like I was using it for a little bit. Like when it came out, it was really good, and then I think the algorithm just like for OpenAI's algorithm for that like tanked, especially after they blocked the ability to use like other IP, like Thomas. Like I can't make that video now because that was like the first day it came out. I was able to make it, but the quality just like took a nosedive really quickly, and I stopped using it. So I'm curious where that goes. I know they signed that $1 billion deal with Disney, so that you can use Disney IP in OpenAI content. So that'll make it like more interesting and fun. You can use like recognizable characters again in their videos.
All right. I think since Jake, you wanted this to be sort of like a year in review, how about we close?
Feeling words?
Not feeling words. That's what we do as a team. Your favorite, you could be plural, VR and mobile games, if you played mobile games this year.
Most of the mobile games I played this year were Naturally Horizon mobile games. And I was getting really into Grow Farm on there for a minute. So I mean, I'd say that one. VR. This is super recency bias. Today I was playing, and this is not to this year's, but I somehow only discovered it just like today. It was the Tetris on the Quest, and I found that like oddly satisfying and calming. Like I found it like very meditative, and I'm like definitely gonna like jump into that again. And I just happened to click on it in my library, and because I was testing something else, and I was like, wow, this is actually like I didn't get the whole like Tetris in 3D. Like you don't need Tetris in VR. Like who the heck needs Tetris in VR? But it was just I don't know, just like because it had like a little bit of like Beat Saber vibes to it with like the music and the energy, and it just I don't know, something about it was just kind of soothing. I'm not calling that my game of the year, but it was just that was Batman, which Delmer here accepted the award for last week.
I don't work here anymore, so I can't show it.
Oh yeah, you just shipped it out. Yeah.
You got it.
We got the award for the best game of the year. Just for those of you who are watching, XR Game of the Year for Batman, and we didn't win it. Meta won it. There's a studio that built it. So yeah, Jake organized.
It was our internal studio. It was Meta-owned studio built it, but yes, we ourselves did not code.
I can't show it.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll post a picture somewhere. It was really cool. It was a really cool award.
I packaged it really well because it was made of glass and like metal materials, so I was really afraid for it breaking. So I put a bunch of bubble wrap around it.
Yeah. Delmer.
My favorite game of the year. That's a great question. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't play a lot of games.
Be an app.
I play. I mean, I've been playing VR games. So this question was about VR and mobile.
And UGC or mobile.
Okay, so for mobile, oh my gosh, I lost the name of this game that I play with my son. Okay, it'll come back to me. On VR, I I've been playing. The last one that I played, I'll just say what Jake said, is Laser Dance. I thought it was fun. It was really, really fun to play. Yeah, that one you basically generates a scene mesh of your room, and it collide the lasers like Mission Impossible. So that one was a really fun. For mobile, I play. Okay, you go. I'll tell you at the end.
Yeah. For VR, it's funny, Jake's answer. It's Lumen's Arise. It's on PSVR 2. And it's like a Tetris, like a riff on a Tetris type game. But it's very atmospheric. And then it builds as you sort of stack your points. So it's super cool. And then Connect with Me with Grant. That was when hand wasn't cool. He was already doing it. He was ahead of the curve. And then the mobile one, I can't tell you because it's in the competition currently, and I loved it.
When do we announce the winners of the competition, by the way?
I think we announce next week.
Okay. It's going to be Christmas for a few folks.
Super cool. It is Christmas. Yeah, that was super cool. So I won't say it out loud.
Right. Yeah, if it's competition related, there's some really cool ones too. I'll tell you, Split Fiction is not mobile, but it's one that I've been playing on PS5 with my son, and that one is real. Like if you're looking for a co-op, like where you can play with your friend and you guys both need to work together to solve, that is a fun game.
Yep. That's cool. I gotta check that out.
There's a mobile one. I don't remember. I played a lot, but it's about balloon. So a balloon starts here, and it gets to the end, and you have to stop all the balloons from arriving to the destination. It's a really fun, popular mobile game that I can't remember the name, but it'll come to me. I'll put it in the description. How about that?
Yeah.
There you go. Cool.
All right. We're hitting the hour mark. But yeah, I think we'll close it on that, gents.
Yeah. All right.
Happy New Year, my friends.
Happy New Year.
Wonderful, happy, healthy, VR filled if you choose holidays. And we'll see you next year.
See you all.
Are we still live?